This episode of Penn Point starts right now. Gamefly. Go to www.gamefly.com/Penn, P-E-N-N, for your free trial membership. Okay, so the other night I went to see this movie called 25K. It's 25K, and I saw, I went because a friend of mine who's named Chris Kenner. And Chris Kenner is, he works with David Copperfield. He's one of the, well, he does all that stuff, you know. All of us that have our pictures up on the side of buildings and on billboards have guys that work with us that really do a lot of the work. And Chris Kenner's been with David Copperfield forever, and I love Chris. He's a good buddy. And we hang out now and again. And he called up, this is the reason you get into show business. He called up because a friend of his had made a movie, and at the movie theater here in Vegas, there's more than one actually, but at the one's called Rave, which is at Town Square. He had a midnight showing. I mean, he had a special premiere for his friends, and all the David Copperfield people were there, and pretty much all the magicians and stuff in town, even though the movie was not magic related at all. And he showed this movie made by a friend of his called 25K. And you'll have an opportunity to see it, and I loved it. But I loved it, first of all, it has a couple scenes in it that are just fabulous, and a couple lines in it that are wonderful, and a really cool style and look. What's great about it is a feature film, and he made it for $8,600. Now, $8,600 is a lot of money. It's more money than I have on me ever. $8,600 is a lot of money, but not to make a movie. Not when you think about shit like, you know, Avatar and Lord of the Rings and all this fucking garbage that costs all the fucking money in the world. $8,600 is like, you know, the amount of money the movie should cost. And he shot it in 9 days with all amateurs. I guess there's a couple people that maybe had been in a movie before, but all the people that worked on it had never done the jobs before. It was shot in 9 days because they each took a week of vacation, so they had the weekends on either side. So 7 days in a week plus the next weekend. See, that's 9. And the guy's name is, I think, Chase that did it. Man, he also bought one of these Canon cameras, which they just pulled out of the box and put on auto setting, and didn't know anything. Had never done any photography, nothing. And the sound they had a little trouble with, which also, when I did The Aristocrats, which was done like this, except we didn't even have like a Canon fancy-ass movie camera. We had like home equipment, like not as good as I'm shooting these on, even though this is in my home. And so the sound he had most trouble with. The special effects, he just put in later, learned them. The fights, they just, you know, kind of faked, put in sound effects. And he wrote the script in a month and did it with all his friends. And I'll tell you, he's trying to make like a drive-in movie from the 70s, you know, so the color's really saturated, which he just shot with his Canon and then just processed afterwards to look the way he wanted it to look. And it's all that kind of, I mean, there's no really graphic violence in it. There's no real sex in it. There's a little bit of obscenity. And it tells a story, you know, of two dirtbag bail bondsmen who get involved in this this caper. It does a little bit of narration and stops the action and says stuff. And I was there with an audience of people that love movies and friends of mine, a friend of mine that I'm making this other movie with. And we watched it, and I'll tell you, if you saw it, it looks like one of these drive-in movies. It looks really cheap. In places it looks really shitty. Some of the special effects are laughable. He did the acting real dead and low and nothing to it. It looks grainy. He put scratches, of course, which wouldn't be on digital film. Actually, you know what they could probably do? They could probably lay scratches right over here to give you an idea what this would look like. Why don't you, as a matter of fact, the editors, you don't do that much on Penn Point. Why don't you right now just add a lot of scratches and saturate the color heavily so I look like really 70s drive-in movie theater. And I'll just go, hey, Sheriff, where are you going? I can just do that, sound just like that. So anyway, what I'm saying about this is make a movie. Everybody should make movies. I mean, who was it? It was French guy, forgot his name. Someone will pop it up right here. Originally said the quote that it's usually attributed to Orson Welles, but it's actually, who was it? I think it was some like Dada guy or something, who said that film would not be, just put it right here, put the name right here. Film would not be an art form until the tools were as cheap as pencil and paper. We're getting to that point, and boy, it's so much cooler. I felt about this movie, 25K, like I felt about first hearing the Ramones and shit, when you had all this like Eagles, you know, as Mojo Nixon calls the country monkeys, when you had all this Eagles shit and all this music was just overproduced and fancy chords with numbers next to them, and all these guys out of Berkeley School of Music, and then all of a sudden, you know, out came the Ramones and Jonathan Richman and the Modern Lovers, and then of course the Sex Pistols and Clash, who were just, you know, from the heart, making nutty shit, and the money allowed them to do it. It was not that expensive to record anymore. And I remember buying the first half Japanese single, Calling All the Girls of the World. Incidentally, I just hung out with Jad Fair in Austin, and that's always such a joy. And that was really exciting in music. And now, you know, then I was much, much younger. You know, I was a child when all this stuff happened. And now, like, I'm a way grown up, but I still get that. I've been waiting for this in movies. I've been waiting for movies that are really no kidding around punk. And Blair Witch, you know, 10 years ago, whatever it was, longer, had that vibe, you know, just getting an idea and shooting it. But now it's getting even easier, and you do this genre stuff. So I just want to say 25K, I'm not saying, you know, she never takes her top off. The woman in it is one of the star's girlfriends, and she's really, really sexy, has a great body, but never takes her top off. So I can't really recommend a movie that no one takes their top off in, although The Aristocrats is pretty good. And you know, I don't care at all about special effects. As a matter of fact, I actually dislike a movie more if the special effects are beautiful. I mean, I had no fucking desire at all to see Avatar. If you're gonna spend all your time on the special effects, I'm trying to think of a movie with great special effects that I like. I guess when I was very, very young and saw 2001: A Space Odyssey, I thought that that was kind of cool because special effects mean something to children. But I love the fact that this movie was sloppy and down and dirty and cool. And really, when you go to watch a movie and you're sitting with your friends, my wife was sitting next to me, and we're, you know, eating popcorn and hanging out, and you get, you know, 4 or 5 lines in a movie, just 4 or 5 lines that make you laugh out loud, that's worth it, right? For an hour and a half, plus an attractive woman that shouldn't take her top off. So 25K, I'm not really talking about this being a great movie, although I enjoyed it as much as any movie I've seen in the past year. But also Look, you know, my favorite movie of the past 10 years. Look has that funky thing, and Adam Rifkin did that, like, you know, on his credit cards and stuff. So I think right now, if you want to please Penn Jillette with a movie, make it cheap, make it down, make it dirty, and take your heart and put it up on the screen, and don't worry about the whole Hollywood system. Because, you know, I certainly haven't found a way to conquer it. So that's Penn Point. Not much, except check out 25K by this guy Chase. And if I was a really good friend of his, I'd have remembered his last name. Not Go Well, but Go something. But they'll put it up here anyways. Chase somebody and his movie 25K. And thank you, Chris Kenner, for inviting me. What a wonderful evening. Everybody go out and make movies. That's the way it should be. GameFly is the largest online video game rental service and offers you a choice from over 7,000 new and classic titles across all consoles and handhelds. With plans starting at $15.95 a month, GameFly members can rent 1 to 4 games at a time and keep them for as long as they like. There are no late fees, no due dates, and shipping is always free. Once you're done playing a game, send it back, and GameFly will send you the next available game on your list. If you really like the game you're playing, simply click Keep It on the GameFly website, and the game is yours at a discounted price. GameFly will even mail you the case and manuals free of charge. Penn Point fans get a 15-day free trial when they go to www.gamefly.com/Penn.